What's going on, guys? Alec here from Oz Fury Gaming. Today I'm here to talk about the Apollo Nox and all the other information that comes to the concept sale, as well as around the verse and a few other tidbits. Now, the Apollo Nox, guys, what is it? Well, it's a single-seater bike, which is really quick, has 2x1 guns, and is better armored than the Dragonfly. The bike can be used in space and on the surface, and it's basically really good as an escort/scouting bike, not really good for exploration like the Dragonfly. To compare the two, I'd call the Nox a crotch rocket or a sports bike versus the Dragonfly, which is more like a quad bike with better exploration, better traversing qualities. Now, as we can see here in the concept sale, we have a Warbond version and the standard version. $35 there for that Warbond version and $40 for the standard. We have the Nox Q, which is a limited edition version, which is a silver sort of white color, which they say is only for the concept sale from my best understanding. Now, the Nox comes in a pretty much stock standard concept sale configuration, lifetime insurance, a small model and poster and bullshit like that. Moving on from here, we have packages. So we have the 2-pack, which is the Nox and the Nox Q, the Starfarer, which is the 2-pack plus the Starfarer on top, which is nice for people who are trying to find a big cargo hauler. And then we also have a 5-pack, which comes with Nox and Nox Q again. Now, these packages are really nice, considering too that the Nox will have shields as well, according to the latest update, but they're to be determined, and it's only a ton, so it's actually fairly lightweight as well. Moving on from here, we had a bit of other information released where the Aegis Redeemer has been taken off sale until the revamp/rework. So if you're unaware, it's been on sale just to the public for a very long time at $250 US, and it's been a bit of upcry about nothing being done for it. Now, as well as we had the production schedule change where the date's been pushed back by another week or so. Now, I'm going to reiterate this. The production schedule is just a rough timeline. There is no fixed dates, but it is a production schedule, so when the dates move back, it is still a date change. What's really pushed it out is just basically systems that they didn't realize would have got bugs, and because they've been changing everything up, like the multi-crew ships to Item 2.0, it's taking longer than first thought. Alright, so after looking at that information, guys, we have ATV, and what appears to be here is either the modular hangar being worked on or an area of some sort in Levski. Basically, they said that the modular hangars have been white box approved, and the art guys are doing the exploration art pass for all that sort of work, and also too they've been working on the components for the different modules and rooms and garages. Now, as we can see here, the garages will be available for Levski to basically go get a vehicle and go explore the surface of the planet. Another point too is outposts have been pretty much finished. They've just got lighting to be done, which will be June 30th, according to the latest production schedule. And as well as the outposts being finished, they were showing here that they actually worked on making outposts not intersect with other game components such as mountains, hills, rocks, anything like that, which will be really nice for that high fidelity sort of finish. After that, they were showing off the AI recognition of disturbances. So basically, if you're letting gunshots off or you're creeping around and knock something over, the AI will be able to notice it and come over and do stuff and annoy you with it. Now, I imagine this will be more for pirates, on pirate bases, or if there's anything like that. So expect to see that sort of biz. Also, too, they were showing off how they've been working with AI to do recognition of friendly and non-friendly targets, and to if you should fire or shouldn't fire. So that was cool to see. From there, they were showing off the Ursa rover and people walking around on the surface, showing the sort of footprints / marks they leave behind as they cruise around, which I imagine if you're in a rover and you get noticed by someone on the Dragonfly or something similar to that, you'd be in a bit of trouble with that amount of dust you kick up. Now, with the people walking, guys, note here is just crouching the footsteps, because I'll talk about that in a minute. But I just think it's so beautiful to see that it is actually leaving footsteps where you do walk. It's not just some random generated bullshit, which a couple of games that I've played have disappointed me on. But I was saying, notice here, see now how he's crouching, see the footstep sizes, see how there's so much more, less of an impact. So that was cool to see. Now we appear to be on snow, so that's also cool to see that they've been working on different surfaces. From here, they were showing off Saber Comet flying through a canyon, basically talking about in-atmosphere ship workings and things like that. And it was just pretty general sort of business, really, I suppose, just having to sit back and watch this Saber Comet just cruise through a canyon and see the dust just kick up randomly. That was beautiful too. From here, they were talking about the actual planets, moon, and the planet. basically on the moons, they've been working on the 3 of them. Because they are finished, they said they've been working on extending the materials that will be found on the moon. So like the ground, like the different forms of materials. So that'll be pretty to see. Also too, they talked about with Levski, the landing zones, talking about how they've been trying to sort of clean them up a bit and make them nicer to land on. There's been an art pass go through for the complex of Levski, so going around just, adjusting lights, adjusting colours and things like that, making it more lifelike or more embracing to the player as we go through the different areas of Levski. And speaking of different areas, guys, we have customs, which hasn't really been talked about before, but all players actually must go through these customs, and there's only one set. So they've been working on them, making them prettier and more interesting. Also too, talking about how they made it harder for unwanted goods to get through customs, which will be interesting for those guys who want to be pirates. From here, they were showing off destruction and all sorts of cool stuff happening, mainly for Squadron 42, but I could see this definitely being used in the PU. And then also too, they're showing off more planetary outpost gear, showing off that the lighting is pretty much done, just giving a real feel for the atmosphere of these outposts. They're looking so beautiful. They talk too about the prefabs for these outposts, being the fact that they're meant to be modular and pretty much stock standard for where you go. I do like the prefabs because if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you get into trouble, you know what you're going to find, and it's easy to locate any resources that you may need or want during those times. They're shown off too with guns, shown here in SMG, which is really pretty. They've been working on other systems for first-person guns, such as delayed aim-down sights and other sort of systems for 3.0. And also too, showing off the railgun here, where they talked about that they worked on the animation for cover with a railgun. From here too, they were showing off Squadron 42, well, basically a cutscene from what I can tell, the animation. So this will be really interesting to see what this is about. It seems to be one dude getting grilled. From here too, they're showing off animations for guns, this reloading, working on what they call secondary animations. So note here, as the gun moves around, you can see the wire moving and the barrels and things, sort of just making a bit of movement as, well, you reload. So it was just good to see that fidelity coming too, which I imagine will be in for 3.0 in some form of manner. The AI submission has been worked on too, mainly in the QA, really pumping it out, trying to work out what's going wrong, getting things fixed up and all the bugs sorted. Like I said before, with the production schedule, this is really what's holding up the game. They're just finding bugs that they didn't expect to find, or in systems that they thought they had nutted out. Now, talking back to with the garages, guys, they're showing off some nice beautiful work here of basically the different garages will be seen, as we can see that they're numbered from 4 to 1. So this is where we'll be getting our Ursa rovers and I imagine dragonflies and Noxes. Talk about that later. Shown off too here, weapon attachments. This will be coming in for the guns and all the railing system that they've been working on. Just the high fidelity for that is so pretty too. I just really love that. From here too, they were showing off the light machine gun from, I can't say the name, which is energy based, which will be fun. And also too, they're showing the distortion cannons, which they said are going to be actually, well, 4 to 6 as well, have been worked on, which would be nice for those bigger ships. The first blockout stage for the neutron repeaters has been done, and for a first blockout stage, it looks pretty good to me. Not sure about what you guys think. So from here, guys, like I said before with the Nox, I did read somewhere that they said that the Nox was going to be ready for 3.0. I can't remember if it was in the pre-sale or not, where I picked mine up. But as we can see from all the different components, the texturing and everything like that, as well as they show the damage state, the ship is pretty much ready. Like, it looks hangar ready, looks ready to get out there and do some business. So I honestly couldn't find anything in the production schedule that was updated this week or anywhere, but I swear I read it somewhere that they were going to actually do it up for 3.0. Now, the Nox 2 has some interesting components to it, mainly the way the heads-up display works. It's actually all holographic. There's no real panels except for the one in the middle, and that's done on purpose to give a really clean feel and a really wide visor or vision for the character. Also too, they're showing here the damage states, showing the way it comes apart. So basically, being a small bike, which it looks size 1 to me, there's not much to go wrong with it. So as we can see here, there are 3 different damage parts as it will blow apart. It does take a bit of damage to blow one apart though, which I did find, well, not surprising, but I was happy with, considering I would like to be using this as an escort slash, well, harassing sort of bike, you know. Say you got 2 with an Ursa rover, you see some guys on a dragonfly, and you think, you know what, let's go give these guys a hard time and steal what they have. So this was really good to see. So guys, this is going to wrap up the video basically. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Let us know if you got a Nox and what you like about the bike, and if you didn't, what you didn't like about it. I'm curious to see all the different responses that CIG can basically produce from the different concept sales and the different information they release, because there's so many different things and such a wide variety of audience that Star Citizen brings in. So I hope to catch you guys in the first. Toodaloo!